Production.
What is poppin'? All right, we're looking at BTC USD. Now, before I get into all the technical analysis, I do think there are people who are doing this on Twitter who are a lot better than me at this in terms of, being consistent with the technical analysis updates. So somebody I wanted to give a shout out to, they've been super supportive of me on like my journey and when it comes to like posting videos and market content. Check out Gally Sama. I hope she doesn't mind me posting this, but they post so consistently when it comes to technical analysis on most crypto related stocks that are actually interesting. So they have a good eye for the TA and they post valuable information related to like Galaxy, Bitcoin that could help you not only understand more, but have a better sort of conviction when you have a community and people like this who are supportive and willing to share their ideas. So give them a follow on Twitter. Super, super good content in terms of Bitcoin and technical analysis. But anyways, we're going to get into it. I wanted to talk about the psychology more, to be honest. Okay. So market psychology is simply just, it's herd, think of herd mentality. And now think, okay, I want to avoid that. That's how you can essentially get a better price and stay away from getting hurt from markets. Okay. Just think back to 2021, 2020, right? Think about the fad it was, right? Bitcoin. It was on the news networks. Everyone's talking about Bitcoin. The price went up, 1,000 something %, right? Bitcoin pumped. That's when everybody wants to basically invest, right? People want to invest after there's been so many gains. People have already, profited a bunch. Why? I guess the average person thinks, oh yeah, it's got to be like reliable. Look how many people have made money on it, right? That's actually the worst time. When everyone is like, okay, let's long this, that's the worst time. So you want to be a contrarian thinker, right? Now, what happens after that? We have a 77% pullback, and essentially people are like, oh, now this is a scam. Like, it's very, like, the psychology of markets is very extreme. So it's very important to be even keel and kind of stand back and watch from an objective perspective on what is happening, right? So after we see this 77% pullback, we're starting to see highlights in the news now, like, oh, maybe Bitcoin is time for this to, it's time, it's done, its time is over. After you start seeing all this, and again, it's so much easier to fall for this if you have no understanding of what Bitcoin actually is. So do the research if you're interested, right? That's going to help you get conviction and understanding of the asset. That alone, having the understanding of what it is and why it's something that's worth looking into, and how it could basically battle inflation and battle monetary easing and all this shit, the printing of money, like why it's worth understanding that is because it makes you a contrarian. It makes you understand the other side of what the average person doesn't even give a shit about. If you see what I'm saying. Now I'm kind of rambling. What I'm trying to get at is right now you're seeing all this bearish kind of talk about Bitcoin. Prices are slowly grinding up. What's going to end up happening again? And I don't want people to fall for this is why I'm trying to, I want people to understand this. Like, essentially the same cycle is going to happen again. There's going to be a pump in price. You're going to see it go up to whatever, 50,000, whatever. And then people are going to be like, oh my God, like this is like, you know what I mean? You're going to see it pump up to maybe 70,000. People are going to go, oh my God, look what happened. And then it's going to fall back in price again, right? It's just the way markets work. Like, it's not just Bitcoin, Amazon, Apple, the NASDAQ, everything, right? You don't want to have that herd mentality. You want to look at these markets from an objective perspective. And that's why the technical analysis helps, right? Look at it and then come up with a decision yourself, right? That don't just think, "Oh, wow, like look at all these people making money on it." Right now, there's probably a lot of people who are underwater. It's very quiet, the crypto space and Bitcoin space right now. It's very quiet. That's when you want to do the work and look into it. Again, what I'm seeing from basically a technical perspective, we've had this period of time where we see the FTX fallout. We see a bunch of now people are getting, companies are not people, companies and exchanges are getting sued and like basically hunted down by the SEC to crack down on crypto in the US. This is all happening because they're trying to basically induce fear into skeptics. That's my thought, right? If you understand the fundamentals, nothing's really going to budge your thoughts on Bitcoin. You know, it's a game about time. So, how can we avoid this? Do the research. Understand just by simply managing your risk and slowly buying small amounts of Bitcoin to understand. And then when you really get it, that's when you could decide, okay, do I want to really put my money where my mouth is? We have this pump from early January up until, call it mid-April, 100% move from the lows, and now we're consolidating in a falling wedge. I think it's just a matter of time before we run out of sellers in this zone and we get that push towards the upside, towards that 30 to 40K range. Somewhere in there is our next stop, in my opinion. That's the breakdown here, guys. I'm kind of ranting a lot today. Easy.